Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to back our channel in search of research. Today we'll discuss about very interesting topic in your research methodology part, that is sampling. So, what exactly sample is, and what is sampling, and what are the different sampling techniques you can use in your research? We'll discuss in this video, and subsequently I will make different videos to make it a series, and we call this series as sampling series. And in this series, we'll discuss different types of sampling techniques you can use in your research, either for quantitative research or qualitative research. So let's start with what exactly sampling. So a sample is a subset of data selected by a researcher from a large population using a particular sampling technique. So, sample means when a researcher draw a subset of a particular population, means the researcher want to do a research or want to apply a particular result on a population. So instead of applying the research techniques in whole population, the researcher can select a subset of that population, means that consists of individuals, and on them the researcher can apply some techniques, whatever the techniques they want to apply, research techniques, and try to solve the research question, and that result they can generalize on the population if they are in the quantitative research. But in qualitative research we draw sample, but this is very context specific. So in other words, we cannot generalize that kind of research. And the components within this subset means, when the researcher select a subset or group of people from a large group of people, then that subset, or each unit of that subset referred as sample points, sampling units, or observation. For example, suppose someone want to do research on, let's say, what is the consumer behavior towards green products. So those who are the using green products are the population for that research. So instead of applying all the research techniques on entire population and find out the answer for your research question, you can collect, or you can choose a subset from your population, means those who are using green products. It is better you can collect data from that subset of that population, and it is cost effective, and it also can be conducted within the stipulated time period. And after collecting data using your research technique, you can find out some results regarding your consumer behavior or buying behavior towards these green products, and that result you can infer to the entire population, or you can say those who are buying green products, you can apply your results on them. So this is all about sample. And when we use different types of techniques to select that subgroup from a large population, that is called sampling. So sample is a subgroup of your population whereas sampling is the technique you use to select that subgroup or choose that subgroup for your research. So next is, what are the types of sampling techniques you can use to select that subgroup or the sample. In broad, you can divide sampling techniques into two types. First one is your probabilistic sampling technique. Probabilistic sampling technique means this is based on the probability theory, and you apply this probability theory where you can select the sample on the basis of, you can means you can give the equal chance to in every individual in your population and draw the sample. Means when you choose the sample, you will give equal chance to every individual or every unit in your population. So there you can minimize the biasness while you are selecting the subgroup or sample from the entire population. Another one is non-probabilistic sampling. Here there is no rule for the probability, or you can say that this is against the probability theory, and based on your individual perception or based on the convenience of the research or based on the judgment of experts, you draw a sample from the population, and for that there is more biasness present in this non-probabilistic sampling technique. And probabilistic sampling most of the time we use in quantitative research, and non-probabilistic sampling we mostly use in qualitative research. So next is probabilistic sampling, as we have already discussed. So probability sampling is a sampling technique rooted in probability theory involving the selection of sample elements from a population, and in this method every individual in the population is considered and each has equal opportunity for selection. Means you cannot ignore a single unit in your population while you are drawing sample from the population. Means you first select each and every one in your population, or you identify each and every element in your population, then you give equal opportunity. Means you will give every unit same emphasis while using your probabilistic sampling technique, and you draw the sample by putting everyone in the same weightage. So you cannot ignore or you cannot give emphasis differently to every unit. That is very very important in probabilistic sampling. So when you consider each and every one in your population, and when you give equal importance or emphasis on every individual while selecting sampling, then it minimizes the error or biasness, so that you can present the entire population in a systematic way. Means when you are not biased and you select the sample by giving equal chance, then there is a high chance when you get the results that can be generalized to the population. So this is all about probabilistic sampling technique, and there are different types of probabilistic sampling technique present. So first one is your simple random sampling, second one is your cluster sampling, and third one is stratified random sampling. So today we'll discuss about simple random sampling, and in subsequent videos we'll discuss about cluster sampling and stratified random sampling. So first one is your simple random sampling. So same, you use the technique like you first identify every individual in your sample, very simple. Then you draw sample by putting or giving equal chance to everyone. So let's say understand this method or sampling technique with a research question. So suppose someone proposed this research question: what is the attitude of a students of a university towards the various service offered by the university? So let's say this is a research question and you want to measure the attitude, or you can say that the perception towards the service offered by the university. So then here question is, who is your population and how you can use simple random sampling to select the students so that there should not be any bias. So let's understand with this example. Let's say first one is you first select a university. For example, let's say this is the X university you have selected. Then here the population means the number of students in that entire university is 1000. So now here the population is 1000. Why? Because you choose only one university, because you have already mentioned that what is the attitude of student of a university. So you select one university and here the population is 1000. So when you know your population, then your when you identify that there are thousand of the thousand students studying in university, so this is your population. So next step what you will do, to draw the sample you need a sample frame, means there you can select or listed all the students name or roll number in a list. Why? Because in probabilistic sampling, the first purpose is you first consider every individual in your population. So here your population is students of that university, and what is how many numbers, how many what is the number of students, that is 1000 students. So you first list down all the 1000 students in a paper or in your spreadsheet. Either you can write down the 1000 students name or roll number as per your convenience. Then what you will do, then you use some probabilistic technique like lottery method. Lottery method means you just put all the names, means 1000 names, you make it cheat and you can put, and every time you draw a particular cheat, then you write down and again you the mix that particular selected cheat, again you just shuffle, then you again draw a cheat. So in this method you can do, or you can generate the random numbers and you can assign it to the students with your spreadsheet, and you can also select them for your sampling purpose. So there are many methods, and there are also websites available, you can use that. So one website as per my knowledge is random.org. You can also use that to generate the random number and select the sample from your sample frame randomly. Then let's say from the list you have, using lottery method, you have identify 200 students. So this 200 students is your sample. So from the university of 1000 students, which is your population, Then you use sample frame by listing all the roll numbers of the student names. Then you use lottery method and you collect 200 students. So now your sample is 200 students. So in this way you can use simple random sampling to choose your sample for your research. So for that, the these two requirement is there. First one is list of the sample, or list of the population, that every individual name or roll number, for example here, should be there. And you use lottery method, or you can generate random number, so that you can select the sample from the sample frame. So this is all about simple random sampling. So thank you, and I hope you understand this simple random sampling. And in next video we'll discuss about stratified random sampling, and we also try to uh, explain it with a kind of research question, so that you can learn how you can use practically use stratified random sampling in next video. So thank you, and this is from my side. I hope you learn. So kindly subscribe our channel for this kind of research video.